Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Stevie and Shaka are here in the studio to answer your questions, and Don is staying up late for us as well to do so. Thank you, Don. All right.
You don't have anywhere to go.
Whew. All right, Don, let me start with you. Have you ever been involved in a club drama like the one happening at Real Madrid right now?
Let me start that by saying I've never seen club drama like what's happening in Real Madrid.
Yeah. Really? Even though you've seen fights and stuff?
If we talk now, we've seen fights. If you're talking one incident, great. But all week long, it's just one nonsense after another. It is absolute, and a club of that size, that stature, to just have these things one after the other, lead it into a classico of all games. Can you imagine if 60 minutes in, the score is 4-0, they're just going to start fighting each other on the pitch?
Yeah. Total madness.
It is absolute chaos.
And you've never seen it either, Stevie?
No, everything Shaka said, yes, there's been disagreements, fights, arguments, a lot, but they're usually one-offs, not 3 in 1 week.
Yeah.
This is just unique.
Don, can you top it?
Nah. I can't top it, but Stevie would have been at Liverpool when I was a youngster there, and Graham Souness, our manager, was going to try and sell me. And he was going to try and sell me to Southampton. He wanted to buy Tim Flowers, the goalkeeper, and I didn't make the move. When we come back, he put a 7v7 on at Melwood, and he put me in one team, himself in the other team, and he two-footed me and topped me. And like a cartoon sketch, I went right up in the air, landed on top of the gaffer, and we ended up rolling around the training ground, semi-punching each other. And Jamie Redknapp's since then done a book saying everyone was standing there gobsmacked thinking that's the end of Hutch, he'll be gone, he'll be sacked in the morning. As me and Graham, the gaffer, were having a bit of a scuffle, he popped up and he went, "See, that's what we need. We need a little bit more character. Lads like him. He'll be in the team on Saturday."
That sound about right, Stevie?
Every single thing about it sounds right, and Souness would have done that because he fought back. If he hadn't fought back, he would have been out the door. No danger. Because, and listen, in terms of size, Don was like that. Souness spends hours every day in the gym. A lot of it because he's got a dodgy ticker, but he is as fit and as strong today as he's been his whole. So it was a complete mismatch physically, but the fact that Don was like, I don't care less, and he fought back.
You know what that is, Don? North-Eastern grit.
Straight away, Souness would go, you know what?
See.
Maybe I was a little hasty, I'll keep this guy.
Nice one. OK, Company used his top players to salvage points in the Bundesliga prior to the Champions League second leg. Is this a reason why their finishing was off yesterday?
No.
Absolutely not.
It was one of those days, and it was a bad one of those days. I don't think the likes of Kane coming off the bench, etc. I don't think that affects what you saw yesterday.
No.
It was a bad day at the office for Bayern's front.
And I said that yesterday on the show that the front four just weren't good. Yes, Harry Kane got his goal, the last kick of the game. But in terms of actually the 90 minutes, all 4 of them were not at the best. And having had more time to think about it, as much as we said it was a great defensive display, I still think we should give them even more praise, because that's for those 4 we're talking about to all be that bad on the same day.
Let me ask you the other way.
You have to look at the opposition and say, you know what, they've done a great job here. They've done a great job.
It was the last couple of Bundesliga games that he didn't play them from the start and he brought them off the bench, as Shaka said. Should he have been playing them from the start? Did it have anything to do with that?
Everybody will say yes. Well, you'd rather just keep ticking over and keep playing it. And that's all great after the event. But there's absolutely no question, at the end of a season where they've played, 60 games? You're really saying it's better to have another game? Yeah, I think that's just looking, that's just trying to figure out what you can pin it on. Where at the end of the day, the reason the top 4 in particular didn't perform is because PSG didn't let them.
Okay. In hindsight, would Real Madrid signing Harry And in hindsight, yeah. Would Real Madrid signing Harry Kane have been better than signing Mbappe?
I'll tell you what, that's a great question.
In hindsight, yes. Let me say, in hindsight, yes. But given how everything's progressed for Real Madrid since, and for Harry Kane to that matter. But when they signed Kylian Mbappe, I don't think anybody questioned it. I certainly didn't. I thought that this Kylian Mbappe coming into who were then the best team in Spain, the best team in Europe, only made them better. So I did not question that at all. Now, of course, roll the clock forward 2 years and you kind of see how things have progressed and what's been happening this week in particular at Real Madrid. To say yes in hindsight, it was your wrong answer is easy, but I don't think anybody truly saw it coming.
Don?
This one's a little bit like the last question, really, where when I was watching PSG, when I was watching Bayern build up, I was stunned that they never got the ball out to the left-hand side. You know, that's where they should have went to Luis Diaz, because he would have been playing against Warren Zaire-Emery, who's a winger playing at right-back, and they didn't problem solve. With the Real Madrid question, football's not that hard, Kay. I still can't understand why they can't find a way of playing Kylian Mbappe on the left-hand side and asking Vinny Jr. to play on the right-hand side and playing a centre-forward. Masterwana was playing at the start of the season or by an elite one.
He doesn't want to.
Well, I know, but
I'm
then...
not playing over there.
I know, mate, I know, but
him over there, not me.
Football's not that hard.
Nope.
I know, football's not that hard, but like, surely if you've got anything about you, if you're Vinny Jr., unless it's a real ego thing and you're Mbappe and it's just all about the ego, surely just go and learn one of you can't play on the right-hand side. Problem solved.
No, but nobody's going to turn around and say, told you so, right? Because nobody's going to say that signing Mbappe. But we all did talk about, well, where's he going to play and how are these two going to get on? But we did talk about that. But nobody's saying, no, that's daft, don't sign him, sign Harry Kane. But at the end of the day, in hindsight, if you look at it, there's no question the chemistry at Real Madrid would be miles better with Harry Kane instead of Kylian Mbappe. And you know Harry's still going to score goals. But you also know he's going to be the team guy, he's going to be the one pulling them all together. And when you've only got one guy in Vinny who thinks he's above everybody else, you can maybe get away with it. Well, you can get away with it. But the fact it's Vinny and Mbappe, you can't get away with it. And you just got to look at PSG to confirm it.
Is Unai Emery underrated?
No. Everybody thinks he's a fantastic manager. He's got an incredible record in the Europa League. But at the end of the day, the Europa League is the tier below the Champions League. And whatever titles he's won in his travels, again, none of them have been as tough to win as the Premier League. So I don't think he's underrated. I think we all know he's a fantastic manager. Tactically, he's really good. But, you know, he did get a chance at Arsenal to turn Arsenal around. And he couldn't do it.
I would say I think he is, for the reasons that Stevie just finished up. Unai Emery succeeded Arsene Wenger at Arsenal. Those are big shoes to fill. Manchester United are still trying to fill the shoes of Sir Alex Ferguson. He then goes into PSG, has a difficult time there. Before Luis Enrique, everybody did. And a lot of it was to do with, Frank spoke about it last night, ownership getting involved and putting together, kind of almost trying to emulate the Real Madrid approach and just signing stars without any real sense of balance or chemistry. And good managers kind of failed at doing that in much the same way that Unai Emery did, until Luis Enrique, and kind of got all those superstars out and brought. He formed this team as he wanted. Now, given the job that Unai Emery has done at Aston Villa, I can't overstate how good a job that was. And let's keep in mind where Villa were when he took over from Steven Gerrard. This was a team that was plummeting towards the championship. Now has them competing regularly top end of the table, playing Champions League football or European football at the very least regularly, without a budget, with a very small squad by comparison to everybody else. I'm not sure who else comes in and does as good a job with Villa under their constraints than that Unai Emery has done?
Who are you leaning more towards, Don? Xhaka or Stevie?
Well, he's not underrated because he's brilliant, so everyone should know about him. I disagree with Stevie slightly with the Arsenal one because he took over after Wenger with a bunch of players that were a little bit problematic at the time. So that needed Arteta to go in and get rid of Aubameyang and Ozil and the guys that were, had been there a little while. Huh?
Can I stop you there? No, but then, what do you want? Are you saying that you can only go into a team that's actually flying and got great players and no problems?
But do you think Unai Emery could go there now and do good stuff with this Arsenal team?
Well, the problem is now the difference. So Unai Emery had the opportunity to go into Arsenal and turn Arsenal around, right? Right?
Right.
And did he?
Was he getting? Was he getting everything that he needed, that he asked for?
Well, we can't sit and talk about what if and what if that and what if that. We can only go on what did he actually do, and he didn't do anything at Arsenal, did he? He didn't turn anything around at Arsenal, and you can talk about PSG. He didn't do anything at PSG. I mean, you and I could have sat on the bench at PSG and they would have won the league. So I'm talking about facts here. Are we saying that to say is he underrated? And you say, well, no, but then you can't put him with the likes of Jose Mourinho or Klopp or Fergie, or you can't put him there, can you? So I wasn't being disrespectful when I said, at the end of the day, he is a great coach, but he's a tier down. And that's not being disrespectful, that's just telling you that what he has won in his career is a tier down.
Don?
See, I think he's the man, which again probably wouldn't happen because he likes to run a football club and control a football club. But if Chelsea are serious, he should be the man that goes into Chelsea and say to their 5 sporting directors, I don't need you lot. I might have one of you. Other 4 can go. We're going to be a proper football club. We're going to do things correct. I'm a top-class manager and I'll win us trophies. It probably even goes to if Liverpool sacked Arne Slot. Surely he's got to be in the conversation. He'd have to be in the conversation for the Man United job. Surely the body of work that he's done over the years, and everyone can have one club where you go, didn't quite work there. That might just be his Arsenal thing coming off the back of Wenger.
To Stevie's point, no, I get it. I don't think he's in the same level that when we talk about a Pep Guardiola or Jurgen Klopp or Jose Mourinho at his best. But at the same time, we're holding failures at Arsenal, post Wenger and PSG as reasons why he isn't. No, I agree. He's not in. Carlo Ancelotti managed at Everton, didn't do an awful lot. Carlo Ancelotti also didn't do an awful lot.
Yeah, but he did before that.
but my point is, when you look at especially the PSG, if Carlo Ancelotti goes into that club and doesn't do an awful lot, it says that there is something wrong there, and that's why I don't hold Unai Emery's failures or perceived failures at PSG against him in the way that Stevie is suggesting.
Okay, last question. I'm just checking which one our last question is. Okay. There are strong rumours linking Alisson to Juventus. If they come with a decent offer, should Liverpool sell him, considering that they also lose Salah and Robertson in the summer? Won't that create a huge leadership vacuum in addition to other issues they're facing? Don, you're shaking your head, then nodding it.
Great. I'm shaking at my head because they can't sell him, surely, when Robbo's going and Salah's going. And the leadership question's absolutely spot on. That's why I was nodding. They can't afford Liverpool to lose more leaders out of that dressing room. Even if it's for one more year to see Mamardashvili through into having more appearances and making him the number 1 in 12 months' time. To go into a new season without Alisson at the back in goal, I think on the leadership front and his quality, I think it would be a massive loss.
tend to disagree with Don. And I disagree because I'd like to know where these leaders have been all season for Liverpool. You know, I understand 4 years ago, this question is crumpled up and thrown in a bucket. It would be insane 4 years ago, but not now. Alisson, in my opinion, this season and the back of last season, hasn't been making saves. And you have a goalkeeper in Mamardashvili who is ready to state his claim. And I think there's plenty of top sides would have loved Mamardashvili in goal for them. So yeah, if you can get money for Alisson now, I think yes, you make that move. And
so they'll have to buy number 2 then. They'll have to buy number 2.
Well, that's fine. Go and buy a number 2. That's fine. But Salah and Robertson, you know, at the end of the day,
It's night.
it's 12 o'clock. Midnight is Don's just gone past. So yeah, I mean that would be my answer. Yes.
Okay, good stuff. Thank you for your questions today. Thanks to Don for staying up late. Thanks to Shaka and Stevie for answering them. We'll be back tomorrow to do it again.